So this week I learned how to do this. What you're looking at here is a snippet, and you can set that up in Visual Studio Code. And this can really improve your workflow, so let me show you how it works. So snippets are basically little code templates that you can store in Visual Studio Code, and then you can call upon them with a certain prefix that you identify. To start creating a snippet for your data science project, all you have to do is open up the command palette by hitting Command-Shift-P, then typing snippets. And then you have the option to insert or configure the user snippets. So we'll first go to the configure user snippets, and then we can set a new global snippet file and we can give it a name, example snippets. So I already have a snippet that I started working on. So this will be a snippet to create a pandas data frame, and it will also import numpy as MP and pandas as PD. So these are your typical data science imports. And if you've been working in data science for a while, you've probably typed these import statements out hundreds of times, if not thousands. So this can really save some time down the line. Now this is a very basic snippet, but of course the sky's the limit here. So now it's up to us as a data scientist to get creative and to start creating snippets for certain pieces of code that we often reuse. So this is my own snippet file called data science, and I currently have 4 snippets in here. So let me show you how this works. So this one over here, the create pandas data frame, is the one we were just looking at. Now if I go back to a file, an empty file, and start from scratch, what we can now do, remember we specified the prefix PD. I can now type PD, and then IntelliSense will pop up with some options that we can choose from here. So other prefixes for PD that might pop up here are related to other features within Visual Studio Code, but you can recognize your snippet from the name you gave it. So create pandas data frame. Then you can either hit enter or tab to complete it, and boom, we have our import statements, and we can specify a path to read the data frame. And what makes this even better is that we can add Tabstops and placeholders. So notice how my cursor is already between the quotes over here, and I can immediately start to type a path. So for example, we can go to raw and then select my data over here and then run the imports, and boom, we have our data frame. So how this works is you can specify Tabstops and placeholders with a $sign followed by a number. So 1 would be your first parameter, then 2 would be your second parameter, and 0 denotes the final cursor position. So basically how this works, if you use these Tabstops in your snippets, then after inserting a snippet, you will start at position 1, then you can type your variable, then you can hit tab and you can go to variable 2, and then eventually you'll go to position 0 if you've indicated it. And what's even more awesome is that you can use the indicator for 1 multiple times. And then when you start typing, it will update all the references with $1. So for example, if you want to type df or data, everywhere that you have $1 will be updated at once. Let me show you. Okay, so let's create a new snippet and make it a bit more complex so I can show you how the Tabstops and placeholders work. So for example, let's create a snippet to create a train test split. So we'll call this train test split, and then in the body we'll import these snippets over here. So we import the train test split from sklearn.model selection. We define our data frame, our target, and then we define our X and Y, and then we split the data. And what I forgot to mention is that you can also specify the scope. So in this case, Python, and this ensures that the snippets using the prefix will only trigger when you're working in a Python file. So this is convenient, for example, when you use different code language. So for example, you work on HTML, CSS project, but also Python or JavaScript, for example, then you can create separate snippets for each language, and defining the scope will ensure that you keep everything separate and make sure that you don't end up with a train test split in your HTML file, for example. And the final step is to change the prefix. So let's call this TTS for train test split. Let's save this, and now let's see in a new file how fast we can load a data frame and then create a train test split for it. So we'll start off by running PD and then create our data frame. Then we link to our data. Let's run this. So now we have our data frame, and then we run TTS, train test split, and then look how our cursor is now placed at tabstop 1 for df. So we say df in this case, then we do tab and we go to the target, and I know that the target for this data set is rentals, so we'll type in rentals. Then let's run everything. We have an X train and we have an X test. So nice 80-20 split. See how easy that was? And using snippets like this can not only save you time by not having to type everything out, it also saves time by not having to look everything up, for example, on Stack Overflow or documentation. So if you don't exactly remember how to specify a train test split, you would maybe then go to Google and then you would search sklearn train test split because you kind of know how it works, but you don't remember the exact syntax. And then you go here and then, oh, it's like this. And then you have to copy everything from here. That's not the case anymore. You just have to remember your snippet prefix. So TTS, train test split, boom, there it is. Now, of course, this is just the beginning and the sky's the limit here. I would really recommend to look into the documentation about the snippets on the Visual Studio Code webpage. I will link it in the description because there are also some really powerful variables that you can use. So selected text, current line, stuff like this, and you can use that to input the variables like that. And also, I didn't cover that, but you can use placeholders using the notation over here. So there's a lot to cover here, but the best way to learn this is to just get started with it and try to come up with some of your own snippets. So basically to build a file like this and then save it and then test it. So another cool one that I have is I do a hashtag for commenting. I can insert a header like this, and then, for example, we say this is loading the data, and like this we can create nice headers. So it still works like this. I can comment stuff like this, but I can also do a hashtag and then hit enter, and then I have a header file. And then, for example, we would now like process the data. So that is another cool snippet, and I only just started playing around with this. Another cool thing that I have in here that I definitely want to play more with is to create snippets for certain models. So this would be a simple linear regression with prefix sk from scikit-learn and then linear regression. So if I go in here and then do sklr, then hit enter, you have to set up to train a basic linear regression model with test train split, defining the model, all the imports as well. We can just move this up like this. So yeah, overall really convenient method and something that was new for me. I think this is more common in software development, but most data scientists come from working in Jupyter Labs and Jupyter Notebook. At least that's what I started out with. And earlier this year, I completely switched to Visual Studio Code and I'm loving it so far. It's just way faster in my opinion, and it's had so much nice features that can improve your productivity and your workflow. And using snippets is one of them. So that's what I wanted to share in today's video, because I only just found out about this feature recently and I'm loving it so far. I'm definitely going to explore the feature and start to create more snippets for my data science library. As always, thanks for watching, and if you want to learn more about working with data, then subscribe to the channel and check out some of the other videos that will pop up on the screen right now.